Hello friends, good morning to all of you. In today's lecture, we are going to study common forces in mechanics. This is part of chapter number 5 named Laws of Motion, Physics, CBSE, NCERT for class 11th. Okay, so before I start, I would like to request one and all to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell icon to receive the future notification. I as well exhort you to please share our YouTube channel so that maximum people can find use of it. So we will start with types of forces. Okay, so before we go further, I would like to briefly touch the definition of force. So, force is a push or pull that produces or intends to produce change in a body or motion in a body. Okay, so forces can be divided into two broad categories. One is contact forces, another is non-contact forces. So, what is the difference between contact forces and non-contact forces? So contact forces are the forces that requires physical contact between two bodies. Okay, so it requires physical contact between two bodies. That means two bodies need to touch each other. That is contact forces. Okay, suppose we are talking about frictional force. Frictional force is a contact force. Okay, so unless and until there is motion of one body on another body, there cannot be friction acting between them. Viscous force is a contact force. Okay, and apart from that, many other forces like air resistance. Air resistance is also a contact force. We are going to discuss these things in detail in slide to come. Now we will move to non-contact forces. So non-contact forces are the forces that does not require physical contact between two bodies. Means even if the bodies are not physically connected, then also the force may exist. Okay, so that is non-contact force. Okay, so we have to give some examples of the non-contact force. So let's talk about gravitational force. So gravitational force means all the heavenly bodies as well as terrestrial bodies. That means terrestrial as well as celestial bodies are attracting each other with a force known as gravitational force. Okay, so gravitational force is a non-contact force. Like we can think of gravitational force between earth and moon, or we can think of gravitational force between earth and sun. So there is no physical contact between earth and moon and earth and sun, but gravitational force will exist between them. So it is a type of non-contact force. In the same line, we will talk about electrical force is also a non-contact force. Like electron is revolving around the nucleus. Okay, so there is force of attraction between electron and proton. Okay, so it means that electrical force is a non-contact force. Means they need not physically touch each other. Still they will attract each other. Still they will attract each other or repel each other. It can be attractive or it can be repulsive force. But it is a non-contact force. It does not require physical contact between two bodies. Magnetic force is also a non-contact force. Like you are taking two magnets. Okay, so magnets north and south, north and north are going to repel each other and north and south are going to attract each other. Okay, so we can say that, what we can say? We can say that magnetic force is a non-contact force. Means when two magnets are brought closer to each other, so poles may attract or repel each other, but there need not to be physical contact between two magnets. So it is a type of non-contact force. So contact force and non-contact force. So we will move to components of the contact force. So we have studied that contact forces are the forces that requires physical contact between two surfaces. Okay, so now the contact forces are always acting in pair. What does it means? It means when two surfaces are in contact with each other. So surface A will be in contact with surface B, and surface B will be in contact with surface A. So they will be in the mutual contact with each other. Okay, so there will be two contact forces. Contact force by virtue of A on B, and contact forces by virtue of B on A. So Newton's third law will apply here. Okay, they will exist in pairs. So now whenever we are going to resolve the contact force in two components, means a contact force can be resolved in two components, horizontal component and vertical component. Okay, so the horizontal component of the contact force or parallel component of the contact force, what parallel to what? Parallel to the surface in contact, is known as friction, and the perpendicular component of the contact force, perpendicular or normal to what? Normal to the surface in contact, is known as normal reaction. So normal reaction is the perpendicular component of the contact force, and friction is the parallel component of the contact force. Okay, so these are two components of the contact force, normal and parallel. So now we will talk about examples of contact force. So first thing is buoyant force. Okay, so what is buoyant force? Buoyant force standard definition is when a body is fully or partially immersed in a liquid, it experiences a upward thrust, that is called as buoyant force. Okay, so that means contact force is not necessarily between solid and solid. Contact force between solid and liquid also. Okay, so you are trying to submerge partially or fully a solid in a liquid. So there will be a upward force known as buoyant force. Okay, so it is a contact force. That means also there is one law known as Archimedes law. Okay, that will be covered in future chapters and slides. Okay, so now we will move to viscous force. So what is viscous force? Viscous force is also a contact force. Means when a liquid is traveling, there will be different layers in liquid. So they will exert some force in between them. Force in between the different layers of the fluid as well as with the walls of the container or the pipe in which they are flowing. So there will be viscous force. But in order for viscous force to exist, there has to be contact. There has to be contact between the layers of the fluid or between the fluid and the pipe or container in which they are flowing. So viscous force will be a contact force. Now comes air resistance. So air resistance is also a contact force. Suppose a aeroplane or a rocket or a missile is flowing in the air. So air is putting some sort of resistance to its normal operation. Okay, air, or you are dropping a paper in air. So as we know that all the substances, you are dropping iron box and you are dropping paper from the same height. So ideally they should hit the ground at the same time. But due to the air resistance, they are hitting the ground at different times. So air resistance is more on a piece of paper than a iron box. As we know, time taken to hit the ground will be independent of the mass of the object or weight of the object, but they are hitting at different times. So air resistance is a type of contact force. Okay, so now we will move to fourth example of contact force, restoring force in a spring. Okay, so whenever we are going to compress the spring or extend the spring, there happens to be a force in opposite direction. Okay, I am repeating, whenever we are going to compress a spring or extend the spring, there is a restoring force in the opposite direction. It is given by F is equal to minus kx, where k is known as the spring constant of a spring, where negative sign shows the direction of the restoring force. Okay, so when you are going to compress, there will be a restoring force that will try to take it to its original position. Original position means you are compressing, it want to come back to the original position. So force will be in the opposite direction of the compressment, and whenever you are trying to extend, it will try to again go back to its original direction. So there will be a restoring force that will try to restore it. So F is equal to minus kx. So what does negative sign means? Negative signs means it will try to restore itself. That is restoring force. Now last of all is tension in a string. So what is a tension in a string? Tension is the restoring force in a inextensible string. Suppose you are having a string and you are tying a weight on one end, and then you are freely leaving it in gravity. So the string will be stressed downwards. So there will be a tension upward. So what will that tension try to do? That tension will try to restore it to its original position. It will try to take it to its original position. So that is known as tension in the string. Okay, so tension is a restoring force in a string. So now we will talk about fundamental forces and mechanics. So as we know that there are 4 types of fundamental forces, although a 5th type has been discovered lately, but it has not yet been covered extensively in our syllabus. So 4 types of forces are gravitational force, electromagnetic force, weak nuclear force, and strong nuclear force. These are the 4 fundamental forces in nature. Although a 5th type of force known as protophobic force has been invented, but we are not going to touch on that. So out of these 4 types of forces, so in the context of mechanics, we are going to consider just 2 forces. One is gravitational force, another one is electrical force. We are going to consider just 2 fundamental forces in mechanics, gravitational force and electrical force. Okay, so in mechanics we are going to do the empirical analysis. We are not going into micro aspect. We are going to do all the calculations and all the solutions in macro context. We are going to do the empirical analysis. We are not going to do the microscopic analysis. Okay, so at the macro level we are considering just gravitational force and electrical force. Okay, so a question may arise, if we are not going to deal with the charged particle in mechanics, so how electrical force may be applicable? So question's answer can be given in this way. So we know that all the matters at the microscopic level consists of atoms, and they are containing electron and nucleus. Nucleus contains protons and neutrons. So nucleus is positively charged and electron is negatively charged. Okay, so there will be interaction and impacts at the atomic level. There will be interaction and impacts at the atomic level. So in fact, all the other forces of mechanics are byproduct of electrical forces. Okay, so all the other forces, whatever we studied, tension, Okay, we talk about tension. Okay, and we talk about elasticity. Okay, we talk about viscous force. We talk about other forces. So all are derived from the electrical forces. All the forces are derived from the electrical forces. In fact, elasticity of the body's molecular collisions and impacts at the atomic level are behind the origin of contact forces. Okay, so we can say that in mechanics we are going to consider just two fundamental forces. One is the gravitational force, another is the electrical force. Okay, so in fact gravitational force is all pervasive. Okay, gravitational force is all pervasive, it exists everywhere, and it is for the celestial as well as terrestrial bodies. Okay, so we have covered all the topics of the topic fundamental force of mechanics. This is all for today. Thank you very much. Thank you for your patient listening. Thank you.